Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for One Punch Man. Wow, we were in sync in that one.
We were.
It's kind of strange. Episode 11. We only have one more and then the season is over.
Yes.
So Jacob, we are escalating things into the final battle, it seems.
That's right.
What do you expect from this episode?
I expect that a lot of the Class S heroes are going to be defeated by Mr. One-Eye Main Boss Dude. And other than that, not much.
Not much?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's see if he's surprised people. Let's get into it.
Bit of Saiyan hair.
Glory Bust!
なんてやつだ。というか、どうやって侵入したんだ。くそー。見張りのメルザルガルドは何をやってる。
メルザガルド。
Ah.
上位戦闘員は俺とあいつしか残っていないというのに。外でサボっているのか。こんな時に。くそー。ゲルガンシュプ。何をしている。ボロス様。申し訳ありません。
Lord Boros.
Oh, right. The Lord's important.
侵入してわずか4分で船の損傷率は 23%。侵入者はたった1人ですが、迎撃に向かった戦闘員は全て秒殺されています。何？メルザルガルドを呼び戻します。奴と私のコンビで必ず侵入者を殺してみせますんで。
His design is so unique and ornate, and
Right.
he's just staring at this blank-faced, bald guy.
Yep, yep.
船の状況を教えろ。落ちるのか。落ちはしない。だが戦闘員はなんだと。そうだ。お前船からこいつらに集中砲火を浴びせてやれ。
There you go.
こっちは今それどころじゃないんだ。 それに砲撃は海戦闘員の仕事だろ。俺も今は船に戻れない状況にある。わかった。では俺が砲撃手に伝えておく。集中砲火に巻き込まれて死ぬなよ。おい、ちょっと待て。お前が一度地上に来てこっちを手伝え。その方が早そうだ。おい、ゲルガンシプ。あいつめ。 それほどの侵入者ということ。
So where's Boros gonna go? Keeping you in one place though. Did he take something important? Oh, okay. So there is a way to actually, you know, make him die when he's killed.
Yeah.
死んだか。おい、こいつ体のどこかにビー玉みてえなもんが入ってるぞ。それが急所だ。
Uh-oh. Crap.
つまりその急所の弾が切れるまで切りまくればいいってことだ。 バカ。104年連れ添った頭の一つがこんなところで死ぬとは。だが貴様らは砲撃で死ぬ。もうすぐ集中砲火が始まる。
なんだこれ。頭の中に直接声が入ってくる。
それ以上踏み込んでみろ。お前を殺すぞ。
帰れったって迷っちゃって出口がわかんねえよ。
帰るのか。わかった。 誘導しよう。まずはそこから右に曲がって突き当たりの階段を上がれ。
右か。
そうだ、右だ。じゃあ左に。
Not coming. One of my favorite parts.
俺が悪かった。今からそっちに行くからちょっと立ち止まってね。
No, that's an even worse idea.
What a nice big door.
なんか指令室
Saitama is really terrifying if you think about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, OP and tentacle powers.
It's the ultimate test, right? Oh, he's actually really big.
なんだ誰かが飛んでくる
Good luck with that, buddy.
こうなったら仕方あるまい超粘土重力波
Oh no!
私の強大すぎる念動力をもってすれば重力すらも操ることが可能なのだ
That is pretty cool.
ブラックホールを強大な重力の前には光すらも
Reminds me of the guy in
Yep, Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho. Even the design is kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
なんだ今度は
What if he ended up accidentally destroying his own ship?
Could, probably.
あのな小石飛ばすだけなんて超能力の無駄遣いだぜそんなもん誰でもできる
That was great.
ちょっと聞きたいんだけどお前らのボスはどこだ
あと頭2つこのままゴリ押しでいける
そろそろ船砲撃来る
Bombardment could kill him too.
見っけじゃあポチッとな
Firing main cannon.
終わりだ回避不可即死
And let me guess, she's gonna turn him around.
なんと止めた
So this is the number 2
Yes.
S-class hero.
For real.
So what would... Ouch. So what's the first class, you know,
You
S-class
don't
hero?
know.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Jeez.
That is pretty awesome.
Yep.
お家帰りたい
I want to go home.
I love it because it's like the aliens are attacking, and then they're just like, "Oh no, we didn't expect this."
Right?
生存者のいそうな場所を教えてほしいおそらくまだ残っているはずだいやしかしすぐに救出に向かう
それ俺たちにも教えてくれよ
ああお前だけいい格好するな
スティンガーイナズマックスこいつ
The guys that fought the Deep Sea King.
Yeah,
Yeah.
君たち
it's nice to see them again.
来たか
Ohio.
Serious time.
Yeah.
この星の大
I'm trying to pin down what that guy's design reminds me of, but I can't.
It's a lot
Put
of
my finger
different
on it.
things intentionally.
てめえがインベーダーの親玉か
素晴らしい戦う前に名を聞いておこ
That's right. We must have proper etiquette.
俺は暗黒盗賊団ダークマターの頭目である。全宇宙の覇者ボロスというものだ。
He's got titles.
Yeah.
プロのヒーローをやってるサイタマ。
That's right, you're not a hero for fun anymore.
サイタマ。
全宇宙の敗者が
The Denominator.
Denominator? Okay.
丸ごとぶっ壊してくれたな。
何の用か。
Well, he's a pirate, so...
予言があったのだ。
予言？それって。
かつて俺は宇宙中を荒らし回っていた。しかし俺は強すぎた。やがて歯向かう者は誰一人としていなくなり、俺は退屈という名の苦痛を味わう羽目になった。
Nice!
ある占い師が俺に言った。
Some kind of Cthulhu crap.
Yep.
俺と対等に戦い楽しませることができる者がいるとな。さあ、俺のせいに刺激を与えてくれ。そのために来たんだ。
バカかお前。退屈な人生に刺激が欲しくて他の星を襲うなんて OL でも考えねえぞ。
Even telemarketers would make that. Wait. Saitama punched him.
強大すぎる。俺のパワーを封印する役目を持つ鎧が今砕かれた。
そうか。
My final form! And Saitama's just standing there.
Right? Okay.
I love how they're not making him serious in that shot.
Yep. Alright, there we go, the penultimate episode.
That's right. Hands down, my favorite part from this episode was the, this armor, which holds, you know, like, which binds my immeasurable power has now been broken. And, like, that was probably the derpiest, like, picture that they've ever done for Saitama yet.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay.
I always thought of Marv as like a, okay. Kind of a, okay. Like, whatever.
And then, like, he starts, you know, transforming and rocks getting blasted everywhere. And he's just sitting there as rocks, like, flying past him.
I see him more of as kind of like he's affronted by this massive display, and he's just like, wow, quit posturing. Like, really? Okay. But that is actually one of the biggest memes of One Punch Man. Just that shot. It's been gifted or how many times of him just sitting there with the everything just being animated. He's just like, okay.
But that is not to say that him just flinging the rock through Tentacle Guy's face was not amazing as well, because that was fantastic.
Oh, that was so great. He's like, whoa, what a waste, dude. You're just flinging pebbles around. He's like, Nani? And he's like, anyone can do that.
And it's gone.
Perfect anticlimactic death, because Saitama usually beats everything with a punch, but we forget how strong and fast he is sometimes to where he could throw an object at someone and split their head in half.
Right. And one of the things that I also loved about that is that it wasn't some like over dramatic, like super crazy animation to show the mass destruction that it caused or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just like, and he's dead.
Yeah.
That's it.
He flicked his finger, basically. Swung his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Number 3 moment I would say would have to go to Tornado, turning the bombardment back on the ship. And I thought it was hilarious that the shells for the bombardment, it wasn't like laser blasts or anything like that.
They're like actual bullets.
They were just like giant bullets.
Yeah, they looked like massive artillery shells, which is basically what they said they were.
Except that artillery shells generally are longer and thinner, right?
True.
But these were like an actual bullet you would like fire from like a 9mm or something, just, you know, made much bigger.
Watch out, Jacob. Now someone actually knows what they're talking about with guns is going to come in and prove you wrong.
Well, right. I mean, I don't know that much about guns, but you know.
Okay, so this is not my my favorite episode. My favorite episode is the next one
because of whatever is going to happen. Yeah, because here's something. Now, technically, Saitama punched Boros's armor, and it destroyed the armor.
But he was bleeding from the hit. It broke the armor.
But Boros did not die.
No, he did not die.
So, can we still call this One Punch Man? Or will it be Two Punch Man? Or
I'm telling you, like this is like the gag is that he will beat everything in one punch.
Right.
But the thing is that there's got to be ways that they can stretch. They got to be able to stretch it here and there.
Exactly.
And the thing is that if you're constantly expecting the same thing every single time, you're going to be a little bit disappointed because they'll have serious moments like Moomin Rider with the Deep Sea King.
Absolutely.
And where
fantastic.
Absolutely Saitama will destroy the Deep Sea King in one punch. You have no guess about you
have no doubt about it.
Absolutely. But then there's other times where he's going to flick a rock at someone and split their head open.
Yep. That's right.
Or other times he's just going to go around punching a ship.
Right. Well, and it's almost like the intent matters to some extent because
possibly
because he was punching parts of the ship, but he wasn't punching the ship. Right. When he punched the meteor, the whole meteor exploded. Right.
Right.
But punching parts of the ship did not destroy the ship. It just destroyed the door, the wall, or whatever.
Right. So you could say that Saitama has different levels of punches, essentially.
Right. He has some modicum of control over the power of them, or at least what the power is directed to.
Okay. That's a good possibility. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. But do you remember Genos' fight with Saitama? Where they were practicing sparring and stuff like that?
Yes.
That
was gorgeous.
That punch where he basically teleported in front of him with a punch.
Right.
He halted it right in front of his face.
Well, he punched from far away
and
then ran in front of the shockwave from the punch.
To split it in half. Yeah. And then went behind him and devastated and created a new canyon.
Yeah.
Devastated the landscape behind him and created a new canyon behind him. That's the kind of punch he can do. Yeah. But one of the ideas that they try to make a point of here is that Saitama doesn't seem to have any top. There is no top
it's just infinity. Whatever you need to do, whatever your opponent, whatever the thing is that you are striking, you will be able to destroy it in one punch. Whether that's a door to a ship, an actual ship itself, a meteor. So
does this punch change that in some way?
I would say.
Is there a possibility?
Possibly, because here's the thing. We've seen Saitama punch people before that had armor and it didn't matter, right? And he did not know that this armor was some sort of special thing, so it's not like he was specifically trying to punch the armor.
Sure.
So it almost feels like that part from the UBW Abridged where it's like, wait a minute, that attack rewrites causality. How did it miss? It's like, well, because et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, wait a minute, so it's just because you got a really good roll on a metaphysical D20? It's like, absolutely, yeah.
Can Saitama roll natural ones on a D20, though?
I don't think so. But it's like, what happens if both sides roll it?
Natural D20?
Yeah.
That's a good point. One of the other things to bring up is you were saying, what if the opponent has some kind of regeneration capabilities?
Right.
Could Saitama actually have some trouble?
Right.
Possibly. One of the other things we haven't seen him have is any kind of an endurance fight, because typically in shonen type stuff there's that bit where you have that thing where they're both bleeding out all over the place and it becomes an endurance fight. Some of those can be really cool. Saitama's probably never had to deal with that ever before.
Right.
Because it's so effortless.
And as far as we know, Saitama is indestructible, right?
Well, we don't know.
Well, we don't know, but there have been all these times where say the Deep Sea King, goes and punches him,
and his head just kind of bobbles a little bit.
And it was hilarious, right? But even if you think about it, even if your punches could magically defeat whatever it was that you were hitting,
right?
That would be kind of problematic if you could still get shot in the face with a gun or something.
Sure.
And we've never actually seen Saitama bleed, I don't think.
I don't think we have either.
Yeah.
I think one of the main points of what makes the Saitama One Punch Man joke of the whole thing really good is that at least me, I kind of like to hold in balance the parody aspect with the action bit and kind of go, aha, he's always going to win. But what if, like, this situation comes up? What if this situation comes up? And, like, where could they write something in that's really creative and clever? And I think Deep Sea King is an example of where they take it to the emotional kind of psychological bit by having Saitama not be there, so that we can figure out what it means to be a hero.
Or whatever was taking a bit.
But the conflict wasn't about Saitama being able to beat the Deep Sea King. It was about being able to basically remind everyone out there what it means to be a hero when one troll basically comes in and tries to subvert the whole situation.
Are you talking about the Deep Sea King now, or the person in the crowd?
I'm talking about the person in the crowd.
Yeah.
But in this case, this is an example of where Saitama is getting pitted specifically against someone that is supposed to mirror Saitama. Right. Someone that is experiencing the same thing Saitama is experiencing.
Okay, and here's something really cool that they could do, right? Since this is an epic battle, and they did the whole thing of, like, introduce yourself and all that.
Yeah.
They could do something where, like in a lot of anime fights, now this is something that usually makes the fight less enjoyable, but this could make it even better, where they spend a lot of time talking and not actually fighting. And that basically they are just talking about, like, oh my gosh, I know, right? Like when, you just can beat anything and then suddenly, you just get bored and life has no meaning. And then, of course, at the end, they're like, all right, that was great. You're awesome. Now, let's settle this. And then, one punch and Boros is dead.
Interesting.
I could see that happening.
Interesting. Okay. Any other scenarios you could see happening? Like, what are your predictions for how this fight will go, fight will end, fight will...
Okay, so one of the things I'm a bit, like, just confused about is that they ended the episode with basically the fight just about to start in earnest, right?
Yeah.
But there's a whole nother episode. And
you don't think there's enough time, or you think there's too much time?
I almost think there's too much time. So so what I could see happening is if there was some point where basically the fight between Saitama and Boros splits, and Boros starts doing other stuff, because I feel like the Class S heroes need to get like kind of curb stomped a bit. Like the fight they had with the regenerating guy, it's like, yeah, that was great, it was good, I enjoyed it, I loved the bombardment.
It's still
thing.
going.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's where they could use some of the time. But of course the guy only has one head left. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much intervention from the ship since they have Tornado.
No, if anything, that guy's days are numbered. Because Tornado came in and just declared herself a goddess.
Right.
And said, you guys are useless.
No.
Which is an interesting point, because if she is that much stronger than everyone else, and she's only number 2, what's the deal with number 1?
Right, so that's the other thing that I could see happening in the final episode. If basically Saitama and Boros fight, and Saitama just beats Boros super quick, right? Like we expect. But then the number 1 hero comes back, right? And then Saitama has to fight him. Because they did make a mention of how... Well, okay, so now they haven't necessarily said anything to make this be like something that has to happen, but Bang was talking about how... Or was it Bang or was it someone else? But they were talking...
It's Bang.
Yeah, it was Bang. And he was talking about how he had the one, protege student that turned bad.
That was Garo.
Right, and it seems like the top of the S-Class heroes could be Garo.
Oh, that's Blast, though. Well, that's his hero name, at least.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
So far, different names.
Right, but so Blast is the hero name, but Garo is the name of Bang's student. So Blast's actual name...
You think that there's a connection there, and that they're the same person?
Yeah, Blast's actual name could be Garo, and his hero name is just Blast. Because they did that with Bang. Yeah, I think it was Bang. Yeah, because his hero name is like Silver or something.
Silver Fang.
But his actual name apparently is Bang.
Well, or at least one of his names is.
Right, one of his names is Bang. He goes
either
by
that, or he goes
names.
by both names. I think if anything, when they get up to like the top level and stuff like that, they go by a bunch of different names and stuff, just based on
Right.
reminding people how strong they are.
Yeah.
In this instance, there, if Saitama, just saves everything and actually gets recognized, like how much up the ranks could this like move him from Class B?
Well, theoretically, it should create like a Class SS or something that's like just Saitama. Like
what if he gets no reward from it?
I could see that happening. That goes with what they've been having happen so far. But the main problem is, well, okay, and here's the thing: if he defeats Boros without Boros taking out any of the S-Class heroes, or even meeting any of the S-Class heroes, they wouldn't really know or care. Like, oh, you defeated some dude that was like said he was really powerful, or whatever.
Right.
Oh, that's great. We probably could have taken him out easy,
Yeah,
So that's something that could absolutely happen.
for sure.
Yeah. Not too many predictions other than that, though. And
Okay.
a lot of the stuff that they've set up, like Garo and Blast, could just be stuff that they're going to use in the future.
Sure.
Since it is getting a second season, and I'm pretty sure the manga's gone for a while.
The manga, I
it's pretty
think,
far
is
ahead.
pretty far ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm sure that based on the amount of time One Punch Man has been out, the original first anime adaptation, there's probably another 2 seasons of One Punch Man at least in the manga, I would say. I'm
Gotcha.
going on this based on like the fact that manga usually gets released once a month. Once every twice.
Yeah, once a month, but it can be once a week.
If it's
like
once a
Bleach-
month or
Bleach
once a
is
week, it's probably pretty far ahead.
Yeah, that's true. But
This is interesting because a lot of the things that at this episode in particular, I'm kind of going back on this and noticing things again for like the first kind of over again, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's hinting at something else. I wonder if that's hinting at that, because there's a couple things where I'm noting that the ending it leaves a couple things still open,
right,
and it makes sense
That's
to
to be
do
expected.
that. But there's other things where you're like, wait, is there maybe we'll be able to talk about it once this next episode is over.
Sure.
Because I don't want to pseudo spoil you by talking about things
Right,
that
talking
go
about
beyond that.
what is relevant and what isn't relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You're smart like that. Okay, well, I would say this is kind of one of those good in-between episodes where we don't have to discuss too much, because it's just the potential leading up for a good fight. Now, I don't want to hype you too much.
That's probably a good idea.
But I would say that the fight is a decent percentage of why this next episode is my favorite One Punch Man episode.
Okay, I actually got the feeling that it would be almost all of it from what you said, but the fact that you said it was a decent percentage makes me excited.
I'm trying
because that means
I'm trying not to give you false expectations, but I'm just going to say that there's not as much emotional weight as the
Moomin Rider episode.
The Moomin Rider episode.
Yeah,
that is the king of
that
and
aspect. I don't expect it to be, but it makes me excited that that the way you phrase that makes me think there might be some of that.
I think
in
it's
there.
mostly on the fact that I think I've watched this last episode specifically for the fight and some other stuff as well, maybe about 5 times.
Oh, okay.
I just really enjoy it.
Gotcha.
But also, you notice things going back, looking at it, I guess.
All right.
Also, it's just a good One Punch Man episode.
Okay.
If you take it as a standalone One Punch Man episode,
it's just good.
It's just good. It's
Okay.
just good.
All
So we'll have some fun there. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off here. If you want to watch the next One Punch Man episode right now, go check out the link in the description for our Patreon and get on early access so you can see us watch the Boros versus Genos finale fight.
Boros versus Genos.
Did I say Genos?
Yeah.
I meant to say Saitama. No, I'm not accidentally spoiling something.
Okay,
Jacob, I
okay.
promise.
All right.
I promise. Okay, guys, we'll see you again next time. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.